It's time for the Early Evening Show with Eshaan Akbar.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Early Evening Show with Eshaan Akbar. How are you? Thank you for joining once again. If indeed you have joined once again, if this is your first time, welcome. It's me, Eshaan Akbar. I'm trying to stay humble because in the last week, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know I have become a global viral sensation. That's right, you're talking to Mr. 3.3 million views on his Instagram clip. And what a measure of my success that is, because the 3.3 million views has added so far a grand total of, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? £0 to my bank account. Because, you know, virality, I mean, look, sure, there's a long-term hope that people are going to buy tickets to my tour shows or engage with my content and pay for stuff. But views don't pay bills. That's not to say I'm not grateful for the fact that people watched the video and they liked it. I'm incredibly grateful that people watched the video and they liked it. And, you know, the increasing followership is nice. But it's quite easy to stay humble, is what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I mean? It's easy to stay humble. But I have released the first couple of clips, actually, at the time of recording, from my brand new comedy special that is available on YouTube to all of my mailing list. So if you'd like to watch the special well before everybody else gets it, and I say everybody else, it just means I unlist the link on YouTube and make it publicly viewable. If you'd like to do that, sign up to the mailing list. I have a link tree. I've got a mailing list link there. Sign up, watch it, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and see if it's something that's up your street, you know. The show went really well when I filmed it back in November, I think. And in the editing and everything, it's taken a few months to get it out. But I'm very glad it's out there now. Well, not fully out there, but you know what I mean. Out there enough so that, like, my true, committed, loving, darling fans. I kind of don't like saying fans, you know. Like, darling, committed people who are interested in my work. What is the word for that? I don't want to say fans, because fans feels a bit like self-aggrandizing. It feels a bit self-involved. And although I'm a stand-up comedian, and I know that it comes with the territory that I would be, I'm not actually that self-involved person. Or maybe I am. I don't know. I'm a single man. What am I talking about? I mean, I'm probably just being quite hopeful more than anything that I'm not a self-absorbed man, but I'm single at 41. There's got to be some level of self-absorption. Absorption and absorption. Spelt the same, pronounced slightly differently. It is the same word. Self-absorption and self-absorption. I think you've got to make a distinction between the two things, haven't you? In any case, yes, the last couple of weeks, the last week has been pretty busy, you know, in the sense that I've been, just personally, it's been busy, just getting all this stuff set up, the tech set up to get my special out there, all the automated replies and stuff. You've got to do it yourself. And look, I'm not playing a tiny violin. There's no need for me to play a violin. I'm just saying it's taking up time. But it's been a really lovely week because I spent the weekend in Antwerp. That's in Belgium. I did the Mad Goat Comedy Festival in Antwerp. And you know what? I had such a brilliant time. Who else was there? Phil Nicol I bumped into on the street. If you don't know Phil Nicol, go and look him up. He's a bit of a legend in the UK comedy scene. And he was telling me that he's been doing this for almost 40 years. I'm 41. That's crazy to me. But Phil Nicol was there. Fatia Saleh was there. She was great. Nabil Abdul Rashid was there. I met a guy called Henning Nielsen from Norway. He was excellent. And a local English-speaking comedian. He's English. Nigel Williams from Bristol. He's based out in Antwerp now, or Brussels, or Belgium. I don't know. I didn't ask, to be honest. But yeah, you would think, wouldn't you, that as a comedy place, when people think about comedy cities, I don't think Antwerp or many other European cities are ever thought of as places that people wanted to go and do comedy or would enjoy. But every time I've gone to Europe, I've had such a great time. Antwerp was really fun. I did 2 shows there. Other places like Hamburg, Zurich, Basel, they've all been brilliant. Berlin. The only one that was a bit shit, it wasn't shit, but it wasn't like the easiest, was Helsinki, Finland. Helsinki. One of the funniest bits of crowd work ever happened in Helsinki. Before I got there, in the guidebook, it said Finnish people don't engage in small talk, all right? So don't do that. And I know the Brits, we love a bit of small talk, but about the weather, about traffic routes or whatever it might be. So it said there very clearly, do not engage in small talk. Now, when you are doing a gig abroad, I think non-local comedians have to do a bit of crowd work to just get a sense of the room and for them to get a sense of you and your speaking pace and your style. So I went in to do a bit of crowd work, and I asked this guy in the front row, I asked him his name. I can't remember. Maybe his name was Timu, Timu as in the Finnish name Timu, as opposed to Timu, the Chinese online retailer. Anyway, I asked him, what's your name? He said something like Timu. And then I said, what do you do for work? And he said, why is this important? And and you know what? He fucked me. He absolutely, hook, line and sinker, fucked me. Why is it important? I was like, oh, it's important. I don't know, to be honest. I'm not going to remember. There are so many people whose jobs I just don't remember. But in this job, you have to ask people what they do as part of the MC kind of magic nonsense, or crowd work conversation. So that was Helsinki. But Antwerp, not only were the gigs fun, just hanging out with Phil. Oh, Adele Cliff was there as well. Sorry, I forgot. Adele Cliff was there. She was brilliant. And we got scooters, hired out those scooters, electric scooters, and just rode around Antwerp. On the Saturday when we finished all our gigs, me, Adele, Phil, Henning, and Archie, who's Jazz Emu. You might know Jazz Emu, who was there. We all got on scooters, rode around to the waterfront, rode up and down, raced each other, got a doner kebab, got some frites. It was just such a lovely group of people to go with. And while we were there, I was reflecting with Phil and some of the other comics that when you're a comedian, sometimes it can be very easy to get caught up and wrapped up in all the things that you should be doing, doing a podcast, doing a special, doing stand-up. But it's important to really take time to appreciate how lucky we are to not just earn a living from this job, but to be able to have the kind of experiences that we're having, to be able to be in another city, enjoy it for what it is, and do a job that, the exchanges laughter with people from other countries and trying to learn what makes other people laugh was a real privilege, It was really, really nice. So I had a really wonderful time out in Antwerp, and I hope I get to go back again. I hadn't been to Antwerp before. Brussels, Bruges, those places I have been to before. I think the last time I was in Bruges or Brussels was with an ex, to be fair. But what else did I get up to? I hosted my my monthly comedy night, setlist sessions. That was great fun. And I do this thing where if I'm having, it's particularly on setlist sessions, I end up getting like quite drunk. And the thing is because I'm somebody that doesn't get hangovers, it's a very, very dangerous place to be, right? Because there are almost no repercussions, certainly not immediately. Some of you will be listening to this or watching this going, fucking hell. I mean, the repercussions are going to be when you get older, you're going to be dead. Your hangover is going to be death. And look, we'll cross that bridge if and when we come to it, all right? But as it stands for now, the next day I feel pretty good. Like, not pretty good. I feel like sleep deprived or a bit dehydrated. But I certainly don't recognise anything that sounds like or I have seen to be what people would define as a hangover. You know, I don't get the headaches. I don't get the grogginess, really. I feel a bit tired, but nothing that stops me from doing anything the next day. And I guess on the Wednesday, I woke up and just got on with my day, as it were. So Tuesday night was great, and then on Friday I did a Crawley and East Grinstead double. Two very lovely gigs. I mean, East Grinstead was popping off. And you might remember on a couple of episodes ago, I mentioned Delaware Pavilion down in Bexhill-on-Sea. In East Grinstead, I was at the Chequermead Theatre on Delaware Road or Delaware something. I've realised I love a gig when it says Delaware. Because, my God, me and Delaware get on like a fucking house on fire. So if you are anywhere in the country and there is a Delaware Road or a Delaware like theatre name or something, please let me know, because Eshaan and Delaware Road, Pavilion, Theatre, whatever it is, are fucking made for each other. That's the thing that I've learned, which is a bit of fun. So yeah, it's been a really, really nice week, and I hope that you guys have had a nice week too. By the way, if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple or wherever you get your podcasts, you know you can watch this on YouTube. It is a single camera shot, I'm afraid. I've got a pretty cheap looking. I don't think it's cheap looking. I've got it was cheap. A fence. Now, when you think of a fence, I don't know what kind of fence you're imagining, but it's one of those Japanese style room dividers. I've got that behind me, and a picture of Patrice O'Neill, one of the goats, and straight out of Whitechapel thing, and a bag from the Palestine Comedy Club. I hosted a Q&A of that at the Curzon, yeah. The Curzon in Bloomsbury at the Bertha Dock House, which is inside it. It's a documentary cinema with the filmmakers. It was absolutely brilliant. It was really, really fun. Not just fun, but important. And we had some very interesting conversations about the importance of a documentary like this at a time like this, especially with everything that's been going on in the last week since I last spoke to you. I mean, World War III, oh God. I can't even begin to wrap my head around what the hell has been going on and how the hell we get out of this. Do you know what I mean? And what surprises me is how the media and the world all thinks that we're fucking stupid. That we don't know we know what's happening, bro. You're doing it in front of us. We know exactly why you're doing what you're doing. And the latest at the time of recording this is Iran have appointed the Ayatollah's son as the supreme leader, which is what, newsflash, nobody wanted. So then why have they killed 165 girls minimum in that school that they first bombed? what price? What the grief that those children's families, parents now have to endure for the rest of their life. For what end? And why is human life seemingly so disposable? I just cannot. I just can't even wrap my head around any of it, man. It's just like, even talking about it, like, I don't want to talk about it, but how can you not? How can you not? And even on like my clips that I post online, people won't comment stuff about Iran necessarily, but there's so much Islamophobia and there's so much racism. By the way, I've got a zero tolerance rule on this. Like, whenever I see a comment on my social media that is aggressive or racist or, excuse me, veering towards those talking points that the right-wing bots or the right-wingers really like, they are getting blocked and deleted immediately. It takes up a lot of time of my day, but they are getting blocked and deleted the fuck out immediately, bro. I ain't got time for this shit, fam. I just don't have time. My favourite thing to do is to reply to them and then block them immediately, so they see the reply, but they can't actually reply to me. Knowledge. There is one slur that I get called a fair bit, and I don't actually know what it means. So, trigger warning, there's a slur coming. And the slur is Pajit. And I don't know what Pajit means. Right. Pajit, here we go, Wikipedia. Pajit is an ethnic slur directed at Indians, particularly Hindus and Sikhs. So, does not apply to me, right? Because I'm not Indian. In terms of my heritage, Dad's Pakistani, Mom's Bangladeshi. I don't have any affiliation to the Hindu community or the Sikh community. I do have an affiliation to the Muslim community by virtue of being raised a Muslim, but I wouldn't necessarily always call myself an observant or practicing Muslim by any stretch of the imagination. The term first appeared on 4chan in 2015 and has been used more widely since the early 2020s. Right. It's an invented name, an imitation of Indian names with the element Jeet, such as Amarjeet and Ranjit. But I don't know. It says that the term Pajit originated from the Pajit My Son meme created on the 4chan message board in July 2015, mocking open defecation in India. Right. So what is the Pajit My Son meme? Do I want to look this up? Do I want to look this up? The Pajit My Son meme. What the hell does this look like? Oh. Looks like it's just a guy with a turban. Right, okay, it's just a picture of... Alright, okay, well, it's a picture of people taking the shit outside. Right, well, I mean, as a slur, that's not something that applies to me, so it doesn't... I mean, you're still getting blocked and deleted. Do you know what I mean? You need to get blocked and deleted, bro. Blocked and deleted. Anyway, all that said and done, it's been, it's an interesting time, like, trying to create stuff and trying to, like, keep on top of trying to get this special out, performing live, doing this podcast, trying to see what other formats could work well. Whatever field of work you're in, thinking about this stuff takes up such a lot of headspace. And in truth, like today, and when it came to recording this podcast, I know we're only, 5 episodes in now? Yeah. Today specifically, I really didn't feel like I had the energy to do it. And that's okay. It's all right to not feel 100% pedal to the metal, because the last week and this upcoming weekend, I'm going to Ibiza. Oh, hello. Or drop that in. I'm going to Ibiza for a few days, not for Ibiza type fun. I'm doing a gig out there in a very, very, very posh place. And then I come back and then I go to Liverpool the following day to DJ a hip-hop night. No, I'm not a DJ. I just selected a playlist. I'll press play a few times and fuck around with the crowd, which is effectively what most DJing is. Luckily, I'll be done pretty early, so I can enjoy the rest of the evening and get absolutely blooded, mate. You know, that's a bit of fun. But because I've got all that going on, doing the pod today, I was like, right, you know, I really need to try and muster the energy. So to get myself in the mood, as it were, I don't know what it is you do to get yourself in the mood for work. I mean, sure, if you want to tell me the things that you do to get yourself in the mood for the good stuff, for the naughty stuff, by all means, share it with me. But to get myself into the mood for work, tidied up my space, I cooked, I made a lovely steak and chips dinner. Not even steak, it was steak loaded fries. Oh, made my own Big Mac sauce. What? Come on, bruv. Pickles, mayo, a bit of 0% Greek yogurt because I'm on a bit of a cut, ketchup, mustard, paprika, salt, pepper. Mix all that shit together. Get the gherkins, lovely diced. Put them in. Get that lovely kind of orangey, browny, mustardy colour. It's almost terracotta. Put that. I caramelised some onions. Ooh. Put all that together. Made myself a lovely dinner for myself and my brother. I had a shower, and now here I am. I like cooking. Cooking is probably the only activity I do which is like truly feels like a hobby. So, I mean, so many things that I do in my life feel like they have to serve a purpose. And I remember reading an article about this, which is like the commodification of hobbies. This idea that no matter what you do, everything feels like it has to be commodified. Like you have to make content or you have to monetize it. We can't just do stuff just to enjoy ourselves. Like, I am recording this podcast. Yes, you know, I'd like to be able to potentially monetize it on YouTube or something at some point. Do I like talking to myself? I don't know. You know, I'm doing it. I feel like it's an important thing to do. Well, is it important? It's not important. Nothing is important given everything given everything that's going on at the moment. Nothing is important. But that's by the by. It's just fun to do, isn't it? And do I find it fun to talk at myself for this long? I don't know. But if you're still listening to this, well, I appreciate you being here. What would be really helpful? I think I need some like format bits. I'm gonna try and work out what that is. But in terms of the rhythm of this, I'm happy that I'm doing it. You know. Anyway, what was the point? What the fuck was I talking about? I was talking about trying to get myself in the mood to do this. Why it's important. It's important to build consistency. And I say that as someone who has been trying to lose weight for the best part of 12 years. Fuck me. And if there is one DM that I get more than any other DM, it is online personal trainers messaging me, asking me if I would like to work with them for some shout-outs so I can lose some weight. And frankly, I've had enough. It's offensive. It assumes, it suggests to me that you're looking at my pictures going, here's a fat prick that needs help. And sure, maybe I could do with a bit of help, right? Sure, maybe that's what you see and you think. But have you considered that maybe I'm just happy? That I'm just happy with this? For a multitude of reasons? I feel very grateful for my body all the time. Not least when it's cold. Because you know where's not cold? Folds. The folds of your belly and under your tits. They're not cold. They're very warm. You know, I used to have a routine about how I'm not incentivized to lose weight because I get laid. It sounds arrogant, but there's an element of truth to it. And by the way, when I say I get laid, what I mean is, some women find me attractive. And that's enough for me. Some women finding me attractive is more than enough. I don't need the whole world to find me attractive. I also don't need the whole world to find me funny. I would like it if some people found me funny. I don't even need everybody to find me interesting. I'd like it if some people found me interesting. And if the some that find me interesting and funny and handsome can make up an audience, if one of those people could make up someone that is my life partner or a romantic partner, even better. But overall, Mr. Personal Trainer and a couple of Ms. Personal Trainers, maybe consider that your boy is happy. Don't assume my level of dissatisfaction or otherwise. But look, we all got to hustle. I get it. Maybe what I need to do is start DMing people saying, "Hey man, you look like you need a joke." Try and find people who look like they might enjoy my comedy, but also look sad. I don't know if I should target people who look happy. Because how they feel. Let's say I saw somebody who posted a picture of their beautiful wedding that they had, wherever it was they had their wedding. And they get a DM from me saying, "Hey, I saw your wedding pictures, thought you might want to know that I'm happy to do some stand-up for you if you want to come and see me or wherever." That might be something. But all in all, I'm happy that I have done this today. You might not be. If you're still listening to this, look, it was something, wasn't it? I hope my voice offers you some sort of solace. But it's going to be a shorter one today. I can feel my energy is not where I want it to be. But another reminder that my comedy special is out on YouTube to my mailing list. Sign up to the mailing list if that's something that interests you. And keep listening. If you want to get in touch at the early evening show. And if there's particular formats, particular things you want me to talk about, give me a shout. While I'm in Ibiza and other places, I will be thinking about the specificities of this podcast and the things that I would like to do that I think would help the podcast grow. Any ideas you have on that front would be very welcome. In the meantime, please look after yourselves. The news is so fucking depressing. I can understand why you wouldn't want to watch it. But if you do continue watching it, please look after yourself. But even away from the news, just look after yourself. Be kind to one another. Have a lovely time. And I'll speak to you next week with a little bit more inspiration in my heart and soul. How about that? That's a nice little promise, isn't it? Okay, thank you. That was the early evening show. Love you. Bye.